the email that I kind of sent out is about training the glutes and knowing how to maximize using them. So one of the things that we often use in our warm-ups and our activation aspect is a glute bridge. And it's a simple exercise, yet it's very, very challenging to do the right way. And a lot of times it's done incorrectly. So I just wanted to kind of give a couple tips on what to think about when you're doing the glute bridge, and hopefully you can maximize it. So I'm just gonna, a lot of times we'll do the single leg glute bridge, which is even more challenging, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our two-legged glute bridge. And the one thing that I try to always do is I want my heel, knee, and my hip to be in line. So I don't wanna be, feet too close or feet too far away. I wanna think that hip, knee, heel should be in a straight line. And I like to actually point my toes up. So when my toes are up, I can push with my heels, which is what we want. So I don't want to be, a lot of times I'll see people doing glute bridges and they're coming up and their heels are off and they're pushing more with their toes than their heels. So we want to think pushing with those heels as we go. So the first thing that we want to think about when we're doing a glute bridge is it's the movement aspect is I'm driving my hips up. So I'm using my heels to push into the ground and drive my heels up, my hips up. So what I want to think about first is stabilizing my core. So I'm going to think about just a strong exhale, and that when I do that, that pushes my abs down and kind of pushes my low back into the floor. When I do that, and then from there, I'm going to think about pushing my heels and getting my hips up. And when I go, I'm going to squeeze the butt at the top and then come back down. So the movement is just with the hips. So I want to think about that exhale, push those abs down. You're going to feel your core engage and then come up with the hips, squeeze. Sometimes you can almost kind of have your hand underneath here so you can feel them engaging. So now a couple of issues that I usually see is that when people do this, they're coming up and they're getting into this position here and they're up, and this is not a good position. This is really bad. Now people might think this is the same, but I'm really extending that low back and I'm using my low back to come up. So this is the complete opposite of what I just did. So that position here where I exhale, push that abs down and then hips up, squeeze, and then coming back down is a lot different than doing this where I'm more engaging hamstrings and low back, not the glutes. So when we think of glute training and training the glutes, they are one of the most powerful muscles in the whole body. And the idea is that we want to be able to utilize them. So the more that we do simple exercises like the glute bridge, which is actually a challenging exercise, but learning how to be able to do that movement and turn on the glutes and not use the other muscles is going to overall just impact the outside stuff that we're doing outside, like, lifting stuff up. We'll be using the right muscles rather than the wrong muscles. Hope that helps. Have a good day.